Alright guys, so for today's video I'm going to show you how to naturally build bigger shoulders. So shoulders are really important to develop like a very aesthetic and good looking physique, especially when you have a good shoulder to waist ratio where your shoulders are much broader than your waist is wide. I just think they're important for like, even if you're not going for aesthetics, for any physique. In my opinion, I have pretty decent shoulder shape, especially for a natural bodybuilder. A good portion of it is my genetics. I kind of got blessed in that area. But I think more than just the genetics, the way I train them, I'm not sure many other people train this way. And I think it really helped me develop bigger, more broad shoulders. And also the fullness, I use a certain method of training to achieve that look. So I'm gonna show you guys how to build bigger, broader shoulders and work on that muscle group and make them naturally huge. So first off, I train my shoulders twice a week right now. On first, my push days where I hit chest, triceps, shoulders. Normally on those days it's kind of jam-packed full of exercises, so I'll probably only hit like 2, at most 3 exercises of shoulders. But then the second workout of the week, which is shoulders and arms, I'll really go ham on them, hit every part of the shoulder group, and that's where really the growth is developed. But basically how we start each shoulder day is grabbing some lighter dumbbells, normally like 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 15 pounds, and just kind of warming up. And I'll do flies and just some different variations in the front, and also shoulder press just to get them warm. And I actually have been blessed in my history of training that I haven't dealt with too many shoulder issues, but I have had some little minor problems in the past with overtraining and just kind of like minute injuries. But I know lots of people struggle with rotator cuff injuries and whatnot, that kind of stuff, so it's really important that your shoulders are warmed and primed for the workout, because if you just go into your working sets with heavy weight and just straight cold, you're gonna get injured for sure. Every single shoulder day, it's really important to start out with a compound lift, because that's gonna work each part of your shoulders, the front deltoid, the lateral delt, and also the rear delt, and just for the overall thickness, some of your traps as well actually. And so you can either do this with a compound exercise like seated military press, either with the bar or with dumbbells. And then you can also do it standing with dumbbells or the bar. And lately I've really just been into seated. I'm not sure why, no really preference. It doesn't really matter, both pretty much the same. Normally you can do a little bit more when you're seated just because you have more power. But what's really important is that when you do seated, the bench has to be either 90 degrees or a little bit less, but you can't have it too low. Like 45-degree angle is definitely too low, because if it gets to like, I would say even around here, then you start working at the upper chest fibers, and it takes a lot of the pressure off the front delt and just like the whole delt, which is what you want to be working. So it's really important to keep it close to vertical, if even 90 degrees if your bench goes to that, and do the reps that way. And basically for rep range, I'll normally do anywhere in the hypertrophy rep range, so like 8 to 15. I'll stick to around 10 to 12 reps. Like if I can get to 12, perfect, but if I can just do 10, if I'm doing a little heavier weight, also totally fine. And that, I found that to be the best for maximum muscle growth. Then after I do a compound on a specific shoulder day, I'll focus on the rear delt. And honestly, a lot of people neglect the rear delt, but to be honest, if you get a rear delt pump, your physique on like instantly looks 10 times better. I don't know what it is, but it's slept on and you really want to develop it. So my 2 favorite exercises for developing the rear delt is face pulls, and I do it with a cable. I'll stand back. This is a little bit high. Normally if you have a machine at like a commercial gym, you probably want to put it around like face level, but this is kind of high. That's all I have. So right now we're just going to chill with this. And you stand a little bit away from it, and then you pull it to your face. Very self-explanatory. And you can either do it where it just goes right to your face, or if you feel a better contraction doing it this method, do this. You pull a little bit above. And basically where you're going to feel it is right here in the back of your delt. You don't want to feel it in your back. You don't want to be pulling with your back, but you want to be pulling with the muscle right of the back of your shoulder, the rear delt. And obviously I only have the cable today, so I can only do the face pulls. But my second favorite exercise for hitting the rear delt is getting on the chest pec fly machine. And instead of sitting forward on it and doing the pec fly, you sit the other way around and you grab from right here and then you go out and you come back in, and you're gonna feel it right here in your rear delt, and that's also another great way to develop that muscle group. But today we're gonna do this. And then if you really develop your rear delts, mine aren't perfect yet, but they're coming along, they're getting better. Your delt is gonna look super full and very boulder-like, like Death Stars. All right, now moving on to the front delt. I often find myself neglecting this part just because I like to work in with my upper chest, because a lot of the movements you hit for that part will also hit your front delt, but also very important to have a developed front delt, because if you don't, your shoulder's gonna look very disproportionate and weird. So my favorite exercise for this, personally, is you take the cable and you can take either attachment, you can do the rope, this one, other one of your choice, and you simply raise it up. And it's gonna work directly the front delt. These front delt raises, you can do them with the cable. You can also just take dumbbells and go like this if you don't have access to a cable or something. But I like to do this around 4 sets, 10 to 12 reps, and really get to my front delt burning and more developed. Alright, now this is the most important and my favorite part of every shoulder workout, which is lateral raises. And there's so many different ways to do this. You can literally lean on a bench and do it this way, single arm. You can do it seated, where you do both arms. You can do it leaning against something like this and go up. You can do it with the cable, single arm, but my favorite is just to do simply standing lateral raises with 2. I'm not sure why, I just get the best contraction, the best work in doing that. And what I'll normally do is I'll hit 5 sets of 15 reps, which sounds like a lot. It is. It's a ton of volume. You really gotta blow up those shoulders. And I'll just go up to here with a slight bend in my elbows, come back down, do that 15 times. And once I get to 15, I pretty much can't do another rep. I mean, it's not till failure, but I would say probably like RPE 8, RPE 9, so it's like I have 2 more reps in the tank, maybe at most. What's most important, if you don't listen to anything else from this video today, listen to this, implement this into your workout. Do drop sets with this exercise. I swear to God, when I started doing drop sets, my shoulders blew up. So what I'll do is I'll get done with my 15 reps. I'll go over to lighter weight. Let's say I'm using 35s. I'll go down to 25, go to failure, go down to 15, go to failure. Done. That's one set. I'll do that 5 times. Ton of volume. You don't have to do it 5 sets. I would say 4 is perfectly fine. Maybe even 3 if you're doing drop sets each time. But yeah, that is definitely the key to building these shoulders, and that's what's really helped me, so hopefully it works for you too.